أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
First of all, let me say welcome to a new awakening. Today we're going to be doing a Jumah, the gathering, what we call the gathering. Let me start out by saying Hotep to my family, Assalamu alaikum to my brothers, Assalamu alaikum to my sisters. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. I testify that there is none worthy of worship save Allah. Wa ashhadu anna nabiyyuna wa rasulun min Allahi wa ta'ala. I also testify to the messengers and prophets from Allah, the Most High. Today, I'm going to be doing this particular Jumah. I know that the majority of our brothers and sisters who follow what we call mainstream Islam have a certain ideal of how they think Jumah is supposed to be done. But I don't follow that criteria. The modernized, traditionalized perspective. I am an African, and I understand what we're calling Islam from an African perspective. So these particular Jumahs might not be for all of you. Today, what I want to do is start out by giving you an understanding of the word Jumah. The word Jumah simply means to gather. And you will see it used several times in the Quran. It will even show where the shaitan, Jumah. In the Quran, when shaitan says, I will put them all in the wrong, the translators translate the word ajma'in, which is Jumah, which the word Jumah comes from, which is Jumah, just an active participle. He translated it as put, not gather. So a lot of times what we do is we get our belief system, our understanding from a foreign people who in their traditions, in their modernized version of what they're calling Islam, it has no substance for us as a people, nor does it have any proper understanding as the Quran relates to us, the children of Adam. So as I say, some might be offended by the manner in which I do the Jumah. So in that respect, it's not for them. It's only for my brothers and sisters who are trying to get back to the original understanding, get back to the practices of our ancestors. Get back to the ways of our ancestors. Get back to the original understanding of our ancestors. Once we begin to realize that it was our ancestors who brought forth scripture, it was our ancestors who brought forth thought, ideas, ideology, math, science, geometry, chemistry, spirituality. Once we realize that all of this comes from us, comes from our ancestors, we'll learn to stop mimicking behind a people who is not even a people, especially a people from us or of us. So, with that being said, I want to get to my point. I have studied the Quran. I've been studying the Quran. And when I say I've been studying the Quran, I'm talking about the language of the Quran. I've been studying the Quran for nearly 40 years now. And I've come to realize a great deal about the manner in which it is interpolated and not translated. Now, I know you say, hey, Jumah is a holy thing, and here this brother is talking about this and that. But if you want the truth, sometimes you might not like it. Sometimes the truth is not in agreement with what you feel or what you think. The truth is just the truth. We've been so conditioned to following behind other people, depending on other people, we think that all their falseness is the truth. And that's just not the case, especially when it comes to something that is divine. Today, I'm going to deal with a particular ayat. It's 3 ayats, signs, that I'm going to deal with in this first part of this gathering. And know this, that when we gather, when people gather in gatherings, there are always goals and objectives that has to be taken from that gathering. People don't gather just to gather. You don't gather just to pray. That's not what this is. In a gathering, we deal with issues. We deal with the things that is needed of the people. That is the purpose in gathering. It has to be goals and objectives. And the only thing that will be holy about that is the moral development, the spiritual development that will come out of that. So, as I said, I'm going to deal with only three ayats. And this is not going to be long. It's going to be quick. And hopefully, I can make my point. Hopefully, at the end of this, you will have gotten some clarity in the signs and symbols I'm going to explain. First of all, I want to start by saying, when we come to understand that we are only spiritual beings having human experiences, many of the signs and ayats will become clear. So I want to begin with this particular one here. In the Quran, and I'm going to be reading from 7 and 172, where it says, وَإِذْ أَكَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَيْنِ آدَمَ مِنْ zuhurihi duriyatihum. And I want to explain that before I finish the ayat, the signs and symbols. What is a connector? What they say a connector is a conjunction. What deals with two or more events that takes place at the same time or in the same space. The time particle id deals with a time before you can recall. So what we're going to be dealing with is the events before we were able to recall. So it says, Wa'id at akdur rabuka min baini adama. And when took thy Rab, thy sustainer, as they translate, men from the Bani, the progeny of Adam, min zuhuri, the word zuhuri means to manifest, to become visible, to become evident, to be perceptible. So it's telling you a time before you were visible, before you were able to be perceived in the humus, in the body, in the material, when you were still a spiritual being, not yet having any human experiences. It says that wa ashhadu ila and fusihim. When you were coming out of the invisible, the unseen, when you was nothing perceivable in this physical world, call to mind the ayat in the Quran where it say, has not there been over man a long period of time when he was not even mentioned? We're talking about that period of time when we were not mentioned here on the earth, when we were still in the spiritual realm. We had not became visible, perceptible. We had not manifested in the humus, in the dirt, in the soil, in the organisms on the earth. We had not yet been given this earth suit. It says that we bear witness. It say, wa ashhada hum. They bear witness. The shahada, in which the foreigners try to get you to take, to accept Islam from them. When you were given your shahada in the moments in which you were manifesting, in which you was coming into this physical existence, you bear witness to you coming into existence, and you bear witness to the Creator bringing you into existence as it goes on. It says, Qala balay shahidan na. We said, we do testify. And Yakulu Yaum Ki Yamati. Least you should say on the day in which you rise up out of this dirt, when you become a thing perceivable, when you become a thing manifested, when you become a thing having these human experiences, were you not mindful that you bear witness to this? We said we bear witness. He translate, we do testify. The word is the Shahada. So there's no need for you to convert to modernized, traditionalized, westernized, foreign people's traditions of what they are calling religion. There's no need for that. Just know you bear witness. So in the concept of Islam, when you manifest it in that state and condition of Islam. The word Islam only means a state and condition of peace. And that's how you came about. So you came about through Islam. And as you begin living these experiences and seeking right and from wrong, seeking morality, as you have the human heart of a socialized human being, as you have the emotional heart as a believing human being, as a righteous human being, when you see someone hungry and you have that nature within you to want to feed that person, you are beginning your fundamental principles of sadaqah, zakat. As you realize there's a need to abstain from certain things, to abstain from certain things, you are fasting. As you realize in your thoughts, in your minds, that you didn't come here of your own account, you are understanding something is greater than you. As you learn that that thing that is greater than you emanates up out of you, that is something that is within you, then you are in a state of taqwa. It is these types of understandings and comprehensions in which we as black people have to come into when studying this Quran. When the Quran says, Ya ayyuha bani Adamah, O ye children or progeny or descendants of Adam, know that it is speaking to you. Know that you are Adam. Adam is what? Adam is the humus, the dirt, the minerals, the organisms, the neutrons, electrons that makes you up. It is within that black soil, that melanated mineral organized soil in which we come from, in the physical. We must know that. It is this type of understanding that will break the chains of psychological slavery that we still hold firmly to. It is this type of information that will allow us to release that and hold on to the rope in which Allah extends to us. We must know this. When in the Quran, and that was 7172, the next one we're going to deal with is 15 and 26. When we're able to read in the Quran, and it says, وَلَكَدْ, and for certainty, khalaqna, we created, al-insana, the social, the friendly, the civilized, the moral, men, meaning those characteristics. That's what the word insane. I know they tell you it means human being, but the word insane deals with the characteristics, the quality of something. And it's telling you what that is going to be in. Min salin. Say those, right, characteristics, men is from salin. Salin is a word that needs to be understood. The word salin means a type of material. They say clay. A type of material that is circadian, that has vibration, that has rhythmic tones and octaves to it. It is from the elements in the universe. It is from the elements of melanin. It is from that consciousness of melanin. And it goes on to say, min hama'in, from melanin. The word hama'in means black, dark, burnt melanin, what we call melanin. Masnunin, shaped and formed in a pattern. The word masnun comes from the word sunnah, meaning to follow, a pattern after. So it's telling us that this salin, min salin, right, this clay material, from these qualities, right, is going to be shaped and formed. This melanin in which these things come from is going to be shaped and formed. So this is the first human beings created. This is what was announced to the elements. We say angels. We're talking about the elements, the things that makes things up, the things that bring other things into existence. It is called malaika. Malaika means forces, powers, elements, spheres. Now, we're going to move on. It says, fa idha sawayatuhu. So, when I shape it, what? This melanin, from what? That salin, from what? Al-insana, when all of that is shaped and formed, right? What nafaktu, and I breathe Fihi, in it, Ruhi, my soul. It is the soul of the Creator that was placed inside this melanated body, this shaping of this melanated body. This melanated body which the Quran tells us Allah said is going to be the successor, the Khalifa, the appointed, the Khalifa. Why does Allah clearly explain to us that the human beings, the Khalifa in which he was creating and have created and placed on this earth were black people? Why is Allah telling us that? Don't we find in the discovery of science, don't we find in the discovery of geography, don't we find in the discovery of genealogy, don't we find in the discovery of anthropology, archaeology, that the first human beings on earth were black people? Don't we find that? There is none arguing that fact anymore. So doesn't that confirm what we just read? That the first human beings were those black people in Africa, our ancestors. So don't that give testimony to when the Quran says, O ye children of Adam, that that is in reference to the descendants of the first people who were created, the Bani Adamah? So don't you comprehend that these ayats are in reference to you? So don't that tell you that you don't have to go to anybody else to understand the Quran? That it is within you? That the book itself is only a dhikr, a reminder? Don't that tell you that? Don't that tell us that we are the originators, the orators of this? Don't history shows us before the Middle East was put together systematically for the scheming purpose to overtake the lands of the original Africans who was there? Don't we see the ayahs in the Quran when it says that the shaitan will attack you from before you, from behind you, from on your right, on your left? Meaning they attacked your history, they're going to attack your future, they're going to attack the strong of you, they're going to attack the weak of you. Does the Quran allows the shaitan? Don't Allah tell us in the Quran that Allah allows the shaitan, right? When the shaitan say, I will attack them, right? He said, attack them with your cavalry. Attack them with your infantry. Say, share wealth with them. Share children with them. Don't that tell you that the shaitan is not invisible? Don't that tell you it is going to be people who is not the children of Adam? Did it not tell you that the shaitan and his tribe, his progeny, his family see you different than you see him? Don't we see that we see other people, not of us, different from us? Don't we see that? Don't we see now that we only see them from the oppressive mind state that they have oppressed upon us? And we see them from that perspective? Don't we realize that yet? Second item, sign and symbol. The third one, I'm going to be reading this one from Surah 7, Signs and Symbols 205, where in the Quran it tells us, Wa adkur bi rabbika fi nafsika. And I just want to stay with that particular statement because of the heaviness, the impactfulness of that particular statement. What at quarter, and call to mind and bring to mind Rabbuka, thy sustainer. Fi in and fusika, in yourself. It say, and call to mind your sustainer in yourself. Now, that's very important to dhikr. It says, dhikr Rabbuka, thy sustainer, fi in and fusika, yourself. Remember your sustainer in yourself. Call to mind your sustainer in yourself. Did we not just read nafaktu? I breathed fihi, in it, ruhi, my soul. Did we just not read nafaktu? I breathed fihi, in it, ruhi, my soul. So the soul of the Creator is in you, and Allah tells you to wa at qur Rabbuka fi and fusika. Call to mind thy sustainer in yourself. The sustainer in yourself. That will be the close, the end of this first part. And in the moment in which you are supplicating, which you are dua, or whether you are praying, or as they say, salat, contemplate what we just said. Okay, I'm back. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers. Assalamu alaikum to my sisters. This will be the closing of today's Jumah. I just want to say I give all praise, glory, honor to the Creator, and that nothing would be created if the Creator didn't create it. Also, I like to say that I hope that you who listen, watch the video, got something out of the video, and that you would tune in again. We're going to be doing this every Friday. Also on Sundays, we do Talim service. And basically, it's the same. We don't follow any modern perspective. We understand Islam, Christianity, life itself. We try to practice from an African perspective. We try to give it from an African perspective. It's all about us as a people coming back into consciousness, reawakening, to who we are, what we are, why we are, as well as where we are. With that being said, I'm going to close out with the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum to my brothers. Assalamu alaikum to my sisters. Hotep to my family. Umbaragani to my brothers. And I always want the last word to be in reference to the Creator. So, as we say, Ashadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. With that, I hope you brothers tune back in, your brothers and sisters tune back in. Thank you very much.